Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hot Seats with Penzola. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the show that speaks to deconstructing societal norms, and it also challenges our status quo in terms of the unwritten rules that we live by as a society. Today, I'm actually talking to Hloni Modise Matau, and I want to talk to her about running a business. I mean, we all know, most people, I mean, every one of us must know somebody that runs their own business. And, you know, I think running a business is there's a perception around it that for me is sort of like a misconception. So I really just want to unpack the running of a business with Hloni and understanding, you know, what her story is in running her own business.
Hello, Matlons. Hello, Hloni. Hello, Beverly. Hello. I just want to say that you, my friend, are a special breed. I just want to say that everything that you're getting now is everything that you've worked for and so richly deserve. You're a hardworking person. You're a selfless person. You've set some of us up for life. And the world will know about your greatness because great people always conquer and great people always come on top. I'm so proud of you and I wish you all the best. Love you.
Hloni, thank you so much for joining me.
Welcome
to the Hot Seats. I'm so excited to be talking to you today.
I'm so excited.
I've been wanting to talk to, you know, women that are running businesses. I mean, it's become a norm, right? A lot of women are running their businesses.
Yes.
And I think I just wanted to have an intimate conversation with you. I know that you are a businesswoman and you've been for a while.
I have.
So, welcome.
So thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so used to sitting on the other side, so it's a bit weird for me to sit here. So I don't know, am I sitting properly?
No, you are absolutely perfect. You and I are just having a conversation.
Awesome.
All right?
Awesome.
Because I think I really want you to bring, you know, your genuine self. And because I think you've got a lot to say. You've been running a business for many years.
I do.
And just relax. I know you're not used to being on the hot seat. It's not that hot today, okay? So I think, Hloni, before we start talking about your hustle and what you've been doing and how it's going, talk to me about who Hloni is. Who is Hloni? Where is she from? What is she about? What does she like? What doesn't she like?
Okay, so Hloni is like Ngwanyana wako Alexander.
Okay.
Like it's ko guys.
Kokas, yeah.
I'm a mom to 3 little kids, beautiful kids. 2 boys and 1 little girl.
Yeah.
I'm a wife.
Yeah.
I'm a hustler.
Yes.
But overall, Hloni is a person that just believes in pushing boundaries.
Right.
Hloni is a person that just, you know, if I've got a dream, I'm chasing for it, I'm going after it.
Right.
So I'm that type of person. Most people think I'm weird. I think I am, but I think that
weird is fun.
I think it makes. Funny enough, I'm actually just now starting to accept that being
weird is fun.
Is okay.
It's okay.
Because sometimes we want to be these things according to other people. So
We
this time around,
want to conform to societal norms. This is why I have this show, because conformity is a big issue in our society.
1000%.
Yeah.
So this particular time in my life, that's where I'm just saying I'm weird and it's okay.
It's okay, and you're loving it.
And I'm actually starting to love it. It's actually fun when you're just now starting to be your authentic self and live according to, you know, just live.
And it's less stressful because you don't have to worry, right?
Totally. Because sometimes I'm like, it feels weird because I'm supposed to be worrying. I'm supposed to be caring.
Yeah.
And then, but now I'm just like,
it's okay.
Fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Oh, is that what you think? Oh, it's okay.
It's
quite
thoughts.
liberating.
Yeah.
So Hloni Modise is that girl, like from a very young age, I've been, when bana ba badlala ko strateng, not be in my little heels teaching the kids go Alexander ko garaging ya ko high.
Wow.
So at school I'd used to listen like extra when the teachers are teaching, and then I take whatever notes that we learned from class, and then I'll take it go garage. So I was a little mistress, and but what it used to take me serious. So if you missed my class,
only teachers petinyana so.
I had to do that because people to support the high school area. So I'm learning nyana. Then na ki fitla ko high ko 16, kinaleba about like 20 kids go strateng that I used to teach English and maths.
Wow.
And you know, if they missed their class, never sharp.
Wow.
Because after school, everybody knew.
Yes,
Wow. It was like, now that I think about it, it was if you didn't go, like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So but parents got involved. That's what I loved, because they wanted to know what the lessons of the day were, why I fail. And I made it personal as well to say, Mama, I think Opa Umurute. And but
so never patala.
No.
Never saw patel. Yeah, but
No.
this is something obviously you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've always loved doing community building.
Right.
So from a very young age,
Yeah.
I mean, I used to stay in Tatelinda Twala. Tatelinda Twala is a big activist go Alexander. He
Yeah.
takes care of Bonghono, whatever.
Yes, yes,
so
yes.
I used to stay, like, be his pet, if you get to
Wow.
say.
Yeah.
But he used to own a mortuary, and he used to do like a lot of amazing things. So every time Alexander
Yeah,
ba
nabitsa
batla-
wena.
yeah, ba bitsa nna. Ke nna ke tlo
'Cause
bua
o
ka
bua
gore-
Sekgowa wena?
Yeah, no, ne ke
Yeah.
tsebe ho bua
Oh,
Sekgowa.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
ngwaneso.
so sometimes I don't even know if they were listening to what I was saying or ne ba mametse gore ke tseba Sekgowa.
Yeah,
'Cause
because it was a weird thing, I guess,
it was,
at the
yes,
time.
it was.
Yeah, yeah.
But I loved it, and I think it just strengthened that community builder in me.
Right.
So then I started an organization called Nameless.
Yeah.
And Nameless was just a bunch of young people, and we're doing like a lot of community work. Alexander, we used to clean the streets. We used to organize soccer tournaments. We used to organize. I think the biggest success here, Nameless, for me was organizing like 10 bursaries for kids within Alex. And then when you go to the College of Alexander, you'll find the trophy. Nameless.
The Nameless,
Yes,
wow.
so that's a bit of a humbling,
Sure.
experience.
Yes,
So I think that's how the community builder in
you,
me,
yeah.
started.
Okay.
So I love that stuff.
So now let's talk about. I think I mean that's such an inspiring story. I guess from a young age having that vision of,
Yeah.
of building where you come from.
Yeah.
Talk to me about why and how and when this idea of the real hustle started, of running your own business. When did that start?
So, when I really think about it, I think it started at that time. Because at that time I used to organize events for Bonghono and what have you not.
Yeah.
So that required for me to draft up a business plan, go
Correct.
source sponsorship for these events.
For the event,
You
yes,
need to
yeah.
get a venue, Bonghono to budget,
Yes.
you need to have a program. So my events management skills really
Started
there because my first business plan or proposal really, I think I drafted it when I was about 13, 14. And then with that, I got, business people offering food and what have you not, based on the documents that I had drafted.
That you did. Wow.
So
Okay.
by the time I got to here, that was a foundation for me. So I think Nameless taught me a lot for me to get to where. So that's where it really started.
Right.
Yeah.
So what business do you run today?
So right now I run a PR agency.
Okay.
So before it actually even became a PR agency, it was a recording company. So I used to work at Sony, worked at Sony for like 5 years.
Okay.
But when I was there, I made sure that I learned everything in every department. I was just so fascinated by this place that hosted a lot of these artists and what have you not. But more than anything else, I was listening to the artists themselves because I was working very closely with
the
them.
artists, yes.
So one of my reasons for starting a recording company was because so I really just wanted to start a home that can address
The issues
that
they were having.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sometimes when you get house panako, like a major label, and as an artist you feel like bakasenagi because there's like 100 of them.
Correct.
So
and there's always that hot one.
Exactly.
That's making the
flavor of
money.
flavor of the
Yes,
month,
yes,
and
yes,
all the
yes.
focus and attention goes to those
Yeah,
people.
those
So
people.
with HM, the idea really was, okay, let me start a recording company that's going to give specialized, individualized attention to the artists that I'm going to be working with.
Okay.
So yeah, then from it becoming a recording company, because I was a kid as well, very young, and I didn't think of
How old were
much.
you when you started HM?
I think I was in my early 20s, 23, 24.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how much money it was going to require for me to run the label. So when you run a label, you actually start making money at that time when the CDs direkis. But there's a recording process that happens. That one's money.
That needs to be paid for.
There's marketing that happens. That's one's money. And before you even get to the point where you start reaping the fruits, there's a lot of money that you've spent.
Yeah.
With one of the projects, my mom passed away in 2009, right?
Okay.
So she left me a little inheritance.
Correct,
and
yeah.
then now we get
More HM.
Yeah, more HM. Ka kopana le osu wa ka mfa ga gore
A re
patanise
pushe.
re bone gore where is that going to take us. And we did okay. It's just we didn't get the results that we were hoping to get. And with that came a lot of depression.
Yeah.
And with that came, do you now give up and say it didn't work? and go back to corporate because that's where you come from. Then I said, no, let me rather focus on my other skill, which is PR. So how I started this PR thing, because Sony, I was an admin person, I was so bad at it. I was almost fired.
As an admin person?
Yes, no.
Wow.
Yeah, my boss sat me down after 3 months and said, Ntwana Luena wabona. Every Monday I used to have anxiety because every time I get a meeting, my minutes, like, there's a mistake. You, like, spelling mistake, there's this.
You're not that person.
Yes, so every, like, Sunday, like, it's not peace because I knew that Monday so it was an anxiety that I had every
other week.
So until my boss said, it's not working out. Once they said that, Aragona, please, can I do PR? Okay, start a community, but I'm giving you a month. Wow. If it doesn't work, you're out.
You know.
So I can everybody that's doing PR,
move around, yeah.
So I had to start making relationships with journalists. So I had to get a taxi, go media park, go Clan Park, and then at taxi, you know. And then, but it worked because then I established great relationships within, you know, the journalists themselves. So during that probation time, Bamfa, Sidia, DJ Spoo, Brown Dash, like the TS stuff.
Yeah.
But this is what we are focusing on. Rokopa PR.
Yeah, but one.
Listen.
Bona.
Listen. Nekifona. Ukrele CDS so nakopa story. Every weekend they were in the papers.
They were in the papers.
They were in the papers.
Yeah.
Then my boss said, okay, let's elevate you to doing national media because I started with just PR, then I did national media.
Aye. Killed it.
No, I did well. No, I did. I was pushing. Every weekend we had a story.
Is PR something that you studied for, you know, or is it something that you're just naturally good at?
Girl, I tried this whole studying thing.
It wasn't working.
No, it wasn't for me, girl. No, it wasn't. I think through Nameless,
you then built the
because
skill.
I had to market the shows that we were doing. So I knew that we needed to get radio, press, and what have you not. So I think I learned it more from there.
Wow.
Books none didn't frustrate.
Wow.
I was doing it for that thing, and the norm to say
But
it was not my thing. Naki tutile ko strating more than I did with the books. You know?
It's so interesting, Hloni, you know, because earlier on I did a show around career disruption.
Okay.
And we were talking about the traditional norms of careers and people studying something and then wanting a job in what they studied. And what you're saying, you know, one of the ladies on the show said something very profound, and she said a career, a job, she said something about a job being different from a career. So a career is a skill, and a job is obviously something that you do. And it's funny how you learned that skill by doing, but you became great at it. So you didn't have to study it.
No.
And that's exactly what we're talking about, to say you can't always want to do something that you studied for. I just thought I'd let you know, because it's so interesting what you're saying. And I'm actually excited that the conversation that I just had is now coming back. You saying, I learned PR all by myself. I didn't need a degree from wherever.
I would be lying when I said I went to school for it. I did try the school thing, and it was more for my parents than it was for me. Just felt like
at least I
mean, I attended King Cedar City College, Gotropong, and I was frustrated half the time. The only time I was excited go skolong was when I needed to do community work.
When you needed to do an event.
So I get guys, can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this?
You came alive.
A campus TV thing. I was a host for that. So I lived for that stuff. I lived for, let's do an event for the what, let's do. But how far textbook, economics. For me, it was never a thing.
Sure.
So I had to get to a point. I actually had a conversation with my parents about this, and my mom was very open, and she wasn't, you know, my father as well. So like just. Because I think my accepted because the community builder. That was my childhood. That was my childhood. So
then Sony, then what's happening ko Sony?
Because I'm in 2009, and look at the Sony, it was like a funny story. So I worked my way up. It was from being an admin,
Then
to being PR, local media, to being
national.
PR national, then becoming a label manager. So I had to beg my boss to say, I want to try this label managing thing and see if it can work. And they're like, who do you want to manage? I was like, and they're like, no, but that's the biggest brand of the company. You can't, you know. And I said, no, just give me a chance.
Let me manage
Let me
these
try.
people. Yeah.
Let me try. If it doesn't work out, it's fine.
It's fine.
You know, but I would have tried. So he said, okay, go for it. I went, and I remember Nelly, what was the name of that album? Matswale. And I said to my boss, this album is going to get to gold in 3 months. And it was in a boardroom setting. And the response in the room was like, yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, girl. Yeah. And then it did. Yeah, reach a gold in 3 months. And when it did, I remember going back, go officing, and this was my resignation. Thank you very much. It was lovely. But I think it's time that I go find my way. So I then left and started HM. So I registered HM. So when I registered, I woke up in the middle of the night and I said, HM Entertainment. That's it. Then I registered it, and then it was sitting, and then after that's when.
Okay, let's go back to HM, moving away from record label to
a PR.
Yes, to PR, yeah.
So then when I started PR, then things started happening.
Yeah.
Because now I was, you know, at first it was difficult because, you know, what I learned, Life, when you are working at a big company, that title, and people really love you for that title.
They love you because you work for a big company, yes.
And what you do for them and what they get from you. So once I lost the title, Sony, so Hloni from Sony, because that's how I saved on people's phones. Hloni from Sony. Once I lost the Sony part of it and became just Hloni, it was tough. Because under normal circumstances, the people that would pick up your phone wouldn't anymore. Maybe nobody busy. Night that time making about support. Maybe nobody busy guys. When I did So I had to work my way up. And then by God's grace, things started opening up. I mean, I did PR for the artists that go Universal Music, did PR for the artists that go Sony, then Sony then became a client. Talks Music, who's been like such a great supporter of HM Entertainment, and I started, things started doing this. So then we got we got to, you know, so then PR became a big thing.
The big thing,
in my space,
So tell me, I mean, in anything, I guess, comes with challenges. You know, running a business, being a mom, anything comes with challenges, right? So, I would assume the same, that you've had your challenges, but I want to hear about your worst challenge, like the worst, and what the impact of that was on you, on the journey of continuing with this business.
I think, you know, there has been a lot of, right? But the biggest one, and I want to speak about this because of the impact that it had on me as a person. I wanted to do work for the summers. And, you know, for me, working for the summers was a dream, right? What people don't know is that I told Keith Lista at the time, I'd even clean to just work at this for the summer. That's how bad I wanted to work there. So when I started with community media, worked until they said, now you are doing the PR. You are doing the
PR for the summers, right?
Yes. So it was all well and great. I think the first year, I was excited and whatever. Everything, everything that could have gone wrong, went wrong.
Sure.
Like, everything that could have gone wrong
did actually
went wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it was tough. It was like, I felt like, number one, my being there was, you know, saying to all the black girls to say, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yes.
And two, it was, for me, I was a representation of these black women that want to tap into this space. So I felt like I failed those women, right? And more than anything else, because after that, there was like a little debrief session, you know, with journalists. It was tough.
So what year was this when you messed this up?
It was 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
so you messed it up, and then what happened?
I went into depression mode for like 3-4 weeks. I stayed in the house. I didn't eat so well. I wasn't okay. Things were being said. It was tough. It was a very tough period in my life. I couldn't, you know, for me to tap out of that space, my husband and my kids wrote a letter and said, we want our mom and my wife back. so you need to decide.
Yeah.
Because we can't have this going
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
And the very next week, a friend of mine, Les Mofokeng, they were launching a book that he wrote.
Yeah.
So I was invited to that book. And my husband said, you're going to dress up and you're going to go and you're going to show up.
You're gonna show up.
So that was my first going to an event after this big failure.
And when you say a lot of things were being said, like
Yeah.
were they being said on print media? Were they being said
some print
around
media,
you?
social
And,
media,
Yeah.
people around.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff was being said.
Yeah.
I felt like I let a lot of people down. And
yeah.
also, you know.
And then the Summers themselves, as your client, what were they? What were they saying?
I mean, we spoke about it.
Yeah.
We said as a team, we made mistakes and we need to
Right.
fix the mistakes and then
Right,
just
yeah.
make sure that whatever mistakes that happened initially don't happen again. So
And do you
from
still
there,
work with them?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
I do.
lovely.
So, it's
So
been
you
great.
did fix your mistakes.
It took a while, but we did. We did eventually get
Yeah.
to a point where we got to now, you know, things are getting better.
Yeah.
Like it's been a big part of my life, and it's been such a blessing to be working
Yeah.
on such a big brand.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
we learn and we continue to learn every year. We
Yeah.
continue to learn every year. So just being part of that whole process,
Correct,
alone,
yeah.
it's such a blessing.
So you go to Leslie's event,
I
the
get
book,
there, and
your
then
husband forces you out the house.
when I get there, all the people that were in that little debrief session were there. So it was very tough because there's other like 3 people that came. They're like, oh, here's the failure. This is the Hloni the F up. This is the.
Oh my word! So
right
there.
Right there. Luckily the bar was there, so I could just
You could just
get
grab a
shot
drink.
and then like whatever. And but we went back to the drawing board as a team to also say what went wrong and how do we fix it. You know.
Yeah.
I really took it to heart. Luckily, you know, Ntantlas BC, who's this RISA CEO, is an amazing leader. He was able to say there were mistakes that happened. Now we need to fix it, and how do we move forward? So that happened.
Yeah.
But then from there, you know, and working on the brand has really opened up a lot of doors for
Yeah,
us. Because
yeah.
after that, that's when we got another big break.
Correct.
You know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want to tap into that space of the 4 weeks where you were trying to hide under the table.
Sure.
What was going on in your head? I mean, I'm sure I think you've already answered where you felt like a failure and
Yeah.
but I want to understand the process of it itself. You know, do you have this voice in your head that just keeps telling you negative stuff?
Yeah.
You know what happens?
My husband and I call it the voices. So
Yes,
every
yes.
time when I zone out, he says, "What are the voices saying?"
Yes, yeah.
So that time the voices were very strong. The voices were saying, you're a big failure. You know, you mess things up. You're not great at what you're doing. You're not great as you think you are.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and what papa? Yeah, you know, basically, you know. So, and it was like, ish, maybe by a mistake by giving me this platform, and I felt like, I've messed it up with other people.
Yeah.
Hey, rough. It
Yeah.
was bad. It was really, really bad. I mean, and like I was scared to even look at what's being said on the phone.
Because that makes it even
you know,
worse.
what's the interesting thing though is that a lot of people at that time would send me screen grabs and texts and what because like you born.
Yes, and
so
when how bad you
born.
Mara ba o rumela.
Rumela. And like how check like
never rumela ba o encourage or never rumela gore o bo a keep like what was the intention? Oh, bona ba reng ka wena?
Ba bang ba re ai tlo feta. Ba bang ba re you tried your best you know. So I tried to block everything out, but yeah, it was just not a great space. Man.
Talk to me about the role of a support structure when running your own business.
The truth of the matter is that if I did not have a support structure, I wouldn't be where I am today. I would have proper collapsed and would have ended up in a mental hospital. For me, I've been blessed with an amazing team, an amazing husband, amazing family that through it all, they support me. I mean, imagine a life without comfort. I would die, you know, and she would sit with me and say, Sissy, it happened, it's fine,
let's move.
Let's stand up, and you know, we move. And I mean, I was blessed with a team of amazing people. Mara I thought about HM ne. Omolo mo berekela kwa.
Mara ba teng, ba go sapari.
Yes. Everybody gets together.
Wow.
And you know, these I'm talking babangwe ke body compiler, babangwe ke artist, babangwe ke eng.
Mara ha ina ka
ya uspana. So that the team has really carried me through a lot of stuff, and just family. So it becomes that much important because it keeps you grounded.
Correct.
And when you fall, you've got somewhere to fall back on, and then they push you back up. So I really wouldn't have done it without a proper support structure. Like there's no way that you can say get a business and
a proper support structure doesn't necessarily mean, it means anyone. It means friends,
anyone.
it means family.
It really
does.
does.
Yeah, it's really not just about there's a rule of who is the support structure.
No,
it's anybody, right?
Anybody. You can get, and I've seen this where you get like a complete stranger that will just phone you and say, something said I must pray for you.
Wow.
Like right now there's a guy by the name of Paul. He's a life coach, where he just phoned me and he said, I'm going to be your life coach for free.
Wow.
And the reason why I want to, like, God sent me to you because I feel like I need to help you walk this journey of life with you. So there's different people that come from different parts of life.
Wow.
Who are not really family or friends or whatever, but they come there.
There's
they
also a higher power,
Exactly.
that also intervenes, because if someone
totally.
just feels the need to come and be your support, with no reason, right?
Completely.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm very blessed in that regard to get people, like, even and things don't go the way that I thought they'd go, then there'll be someone that phones and says, I know how hard you tried and you are going to be fine, keep on pushing. So what I'm now learning is that through all of these highs and lows, you become like a testimony for other people or young upcoming business people to say that it's okay to fail, because the norm was that you can't fail.
Yeah.
And you must be perfect.
Yes.
And then I lived by that for a very long time, and I think part of my depression was that, because I never wanted to fail, and I never wanted things to go wrong, because I'm there, so things must be fine. And when things go sideways, then I would, But a support structure is very, very
I guess
important.
because society expects us to be perfect, and I think the other unwritten rule or a myth around running a business, there's that thing, it sounds fancy, sounds all rosy.
Yeah.
I run my own business, it sounds like somehow it sounds like you're immediately making money. Do you know what I mean? So what do you think are critical skills and characteristics or even values that one should have when deciding to start their business, in your opinion? I mean, we're different, but I'm interested in what you are thinking around the critical and skills and the values and just the way of work.
So I think there's things still you learn around, and I still continue to learn these things in my journey.
Yeah.
Because I've had so many highs and lows. I think, like you said, the idea of business, it's fancy.
Yeah, it sounds great.
You sound like But when you really think about it, how many people have registered the CC,
a lot.
PTY,
a lot. As to whether they operate or not, that's something else.
That's what I mean. So the foundation of the business is very important. And this is where we get it wrong all the time. So when we do businesses, waqala contract, and then I design
gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
I personally suffered from a lot of gentleman's agreements because I'm a relationships driven person.
Yes.
So if you come and what has happened is that and then when I pop,
and then
via. And then when I via, because spend 6 months more when.
Exactly. And I didn't get paid.
I didn't.
And let's think, the expenses. I can the expenses, the petrol,
no, because I get a 920. Yeah, when I got stress. When it's a and then, but the business then suffers.
Yeah.
Because there's money, there's resources, there's time.
Correct.
Because
correct. Time is money.
Yeah, with our work, the biggest thing in that resource,
it's time.
Because
yes.
we, if how we say sharp, then your business is not going to work.
Correct,
So
yes.
we always we don't get the foundation right. We don't want to do the paperwork. We don't want to do the admin stuff. But that's the stuff that's going to save our business. But we don't. That's why we get in messes that it takes. That's why we get in messes of, no, but I don't have a contract with you now. And
then finally dispute, and the dispute thing can't be solved because there's no paper trail.
So that is very important, you know.
Okay.
Understanding what your business is about. Because sometimes, the flavor of the month. Someone said a lot of opportunities can come flooding, and then sometimes they can become a distraction because you move away from what the core of the business is really about. Because now you just want to please, you want to do things
because
that
the inquiry
yes, but it's actually whatever Ospanankan is in line with what we're doing and what you know, because
it's part of the dream, it's part of the objective.
You know, and you grow, but understand what your goals are, what are you doing, you know.
Right.
And this is something that I had to learn as well, to say no, like like business say about what.
What is it?
Yeah, because last week it's okay to do those, but I don't want to call your business game, because what that does is that it helps when someone says, I want that particular skill, they know that you do that skill, and you're not all over the place. Because also,
and you also have a story, like you have a 3-liner of selling yourself if you are clear what you're doing.
Because when I know, it's like, what are you doing? And then how's the show? Yeah, via opportunity. I do this. But we're now because you how you know what I mean? So yeah, it's important to know those things, and it's important to manage your money.
Yeah, money,
guys.
What exactly, you know, what are the actionable things that can help people manage the money?
You know what? Experience.
Yeah.
So I think now what I got wrong is that I, like, someone said to me, actually, just be careful that your business doesn't grow too quickly. And at that time, that didn't make
expansion.
Sense. Yeah, for me, it was like, what are you? Okay, sharp. I mean, are you saying?
Mara business and
what this person was essentially saying, just don't grow too quickly. And only now I'm learning what that person was actually talking about. Finances are a big deal in a business. I'm a bringer together of people. So I would have like a big team, for example, Mara for a small project.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's about
empowering. When I hear about project is not,
I'm employing, which is not a bad thing, but just scale it properly. Yeah. You know what I mean? The highly thing, sometimes this is the big one. You feel like
no.
Or you feel what we make as entrepreneurs, sometimes it's almost as if forever. And I had to learn 2 or 3 times in my life where the one point clients disappeared. And no, that time I'm driving a nice car. Yeah, I'm not so, my friends that loved me because of they're gone. Yeah. I know Hloni on the problem.
Yes, girl.
Somebody even said to me, how? And at that time, phone and all of that. So I had to go through a lot of that. I went through that first time, went up, and then made the same mistakes, went through it again, and then made the same mistakes, then went through it again.
You don't learn, huh?
No, girl. I was like, no, Kileni Loretta, something different, and then keep it different this time. Yeah.
Okay,
so Nesi Marnele different.
Mara it landed you at the same spot.
It landed me in the same spot. And then and now
So, I mean, given another chance though, would you change anything? I guess you would change managing the money better.
Yeah, that's a big part of the business.
But would you? What else would you do differently? I mean, you spoke about managing money properly. You spoke about being clear around the goal. You spoke about, I I don't remember the third one, but there were three things. So outside of those that you mentioned, what else would you change if you had to redo HM?
Firstly, I'd be kinder to Hloni Modise. Firstly,
Yeah.
that's the first big one.
Yeah.
Because if there's someone that has gotten a beating through all of this, it's her. And I refer to Hloni as a third party because I was making an analogy to say, you know, if I was me wa Hloni, if I stood outside here and then say the things that I say to Hloni, but say to this person, this child would have committed suicide because of the negative self-talk, because of taking like what people expect me to be, and just putting so much pressure on this Hloni person and not giving Hloni a break. So if there's one big thing I would change, is to give her a break.
Wow.
She has been there for everybody. She has been there making sure that everybody is successful. She has been there making sure that everybody gets what they want, but not taking care of her. So if I take better care of Hloni, then Hloni can be able to take better care of everything else. Business, home, mom, da 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 da. So that's the one big thing I would change, because Hloni is suffering because of that. And until that changes, nothing is going to be better or good for anybody else.
Wow.
Then the structuring of the business and mixing things that shouldn't be mixed, that, like boundaries. Boundaries in business is important, because when you work, right, but interview, that's not your goal. That's not what you wanted. You didn't want to speak to Hloni well, but you're doing
because
it for
Hloni is not part of my
Mara wa yetsa, because ke batla ho pleaser Hloni.
And ke tlo tsenya nako ya
Yeah,
ka
o
ba
senya
no
nako ya
interview motho ke sa
hao,
batle mo
o senya
interview.
di-resources tsa
Hona.
hao, o understand? And nako e senteng, you're not gonna get it back. So that's the one big thing that I would change. And just to stay focused on the goals. And
Sure.
yeah.
I think you've said a mouthful. I think for me that is so profound. Like, guys, it is look after yourself. Like, out of everything else, you know, you put yourself first. Even though the goal is obviously to grow the business, but putting Hloni first means that Hloni is able to sustain this business.
Yeah, because Hloni is the business.
Hloni is the business.
Yeah.
Wow.
But if you don't take care of Hloni, that's why when Hloni falls apart, the business falls apart.
Exactly.
When Hloni is going through a mental you know. But also when you get yourself a right team.
Yeah.
Right team that deserves to do the work. Because ning wahira, because ki family or whatever. And then, you know, it's great because you are helping. You're helping, but are you really helping the business?
You're helping the person you've hired, but not the business.
Yeah. So Hloni has just been a community builder throughout, you know.
So even in your business, even in your hustle, you are still trying to do nameless stuff. You are community building.
That's why I started a foundation, because even but this foundation.
Tell me about this foundation that you started. What are you community building now?
No, but I had to sit and really recognize that's a big part of my life.
Yeah.
In as much as I've wanted to be a successful whatever, the part of me giving, the part of me helping other people gives me so much joy. Like, it gives me life to be able to help other people. So I think when we get trapped into Raspana that got taken away. Yes, I help people on it, like, but the core of me being able to help people in a community. So I just felt like it's time that I went back to still do everything else, but still do what gave me life. And that is really giving to
So what people. Does this foundation, what is it called? What does it do?
So it's Hloni Modise Foundation. You know, we're sitting down and they're saying, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? And I just said to them, guys, I don't want to be boxed. We are focusing on putting netballs together, whatever. I want it to be, it's a responsive foundation. So if there's a situation, we are there.
So you are dealing with the need.
With the needs that arise.
Whichever need that arises.
Yes, so for me that gives me, because I wouldn't want to be in a situation whereby you are in trouble. I can't help you because that's not
this is my focus.
This is what we are focusing on. So
yeah.
I really want to be able to say, okay, do we have the resources? Who do we reach out to so that we can be able to help you?
Amazing,
so also that
amazing
also
stuff.
brings in a whole lot of elements. So we just started.
Okay.
We are doing a drive for the month of May, helping moms in need. Okay. So we are donating clothes, formula, anything that can help mummies. So we've targeted the month of May to get this done, and then
I guess it makes sense. There's Mother's Day, it's a Mother's Month.
Also, I'm a new mom, so I love just taking care of the mom, because I know what it's like to wear the super head rubbish. And I call it rubbish because I wore the super head cap for a long time.
But there is no super. Listen,
I don't want it. I don't want that superwoman. It comes with a lot of pain, a lot of sadness, a lot of.
I'm not a superwoman.
Yeah, so and it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. And this is when I say this journey of not conforming. It's okay not to be a superwoman, because now I can say no, girl.
I have to tell you though. I must share this with you.
Yeah.
The one time there was a cake and candy sale at my daughter's school, and I actually forgot it. I didn't. She was the only child in class that didn't bring cake to sell.
Yeah.
And you know, when the teacher sent me a message and you know, she said, no, don't worry, I've partnered her with another child in class.
Yeah.
So that they are both selling. You know, my daughter doesn't obviously. She knows she didn't bring. You know, I cried. I went to the bathroom. I was at work. I went to the bathroom and I cried because I'm such a terrible mom. How could I forget? You know, but when I got home and my husband said to me, it's just a cake and candy sale.
Yeah.
You didn't forget to pick her up. You didn't forget to make her food. It's just, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, and I think from there on, I've started understanding that if I forget that it's swimming, or if I forget that it's PE, or, you know, it's okay.
It's okay.
And it's such a liberating
But we live in a
feeling.
situation where you're like, yo, if you didn't do that, like, yo, what a kind of a mom.
Because there's these moms that their jobs is only that.
Yeah,
and,
Mara, we're not
you know,
like
but,
that. And we're not saying we're not to about it.
No, that's not what I'm saying as well. But what I'm saying is with the stuff that's on our plate.
Yes.
It's okay to forget a cake and candy sale.
Yeah, actually.
You know. So anyway, this is not about me, Hloni. It's about you.
Like, I'm flipping the script on you. No, so, I think when you speak about being a mom, just going back to like, I have a special needs, raising a special needs child, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, there's a lot of pressure that I put on myself as a mom, because I get it off the white blame, or maybe it's
somehow
like
maybe it's something you ate or what.
Someone actually said, it's because she was smoking when she was pregnant. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you there's a lot of patience that's required from you, right? It takes a lot, right? There's a lot of things that you have to do. There's a lot of life is not the same, right? But now I'm by 3, right?
One is a special needs child, but the other two, you know, also need attention.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So this one is fine. We've worked, like, there's the special needs part of life. I think we suffered a lot when he was very small because of autism, but we worked.
But you worked,
because we were told he won't be able to speak. We are a young couple. We must take him and lock him up in an institution because we are young, right? We can have other kids. Yeah, we waited. We were on a waiting list for 6 months to be told that, right?
Wow.
But this is where I say, you know, the beauty of partnership, because being married to my husband, then he says, no, you must read a book called Louder Than Words by Jenny McCarthy, and I'm not a reader.
Yeah.
But that's a book that I read from page to page, and the reason why I read that book is because everything there, I recognized my son in that, right? And there was a lot of things, interventions that we had to do, and that meant that sometimes business would be affected because I had to put this here.
You had to prioritize your son at that time.
Yes.
And kind of pause the hustle for a while.
Yes. So in doing that, you have resentment. You have a lot of why me, like, out of everybody got vele wachuza
that intra conflict within yourself.
But also you must be there for your child to say, my child, you're a star winner.
Yes.
You
winner.
You know. But we are grateful because throughout all of that, the same child and waiting cabbage and what you know, is learning mainstream education.
Wow.
He is speaking, he can read, he sends me WhatsApp, he sends us WhatsApp, he phones everybody.
So the same child that was supposed to be locked in an institution
Yes.
is able to communicate
Yes.
with his parents
Yes,
via WhatsApp?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So in a mix of the business trying to make money and being a wife and being what,
and being a
and
mom
then you
to a
have
special
to,
needs
yes,
child. Wow.
yeah. So you balancing becomes
But you
a
are bound
thing.
to break down at some
I
point.
have.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
broken down.
Yeah.
I have. And it wasn't nice. I broke down and it was a lot.
Yeah.
Until today, I still think I'm still working
With that,
through
yeah.
through all of that. But the power of the support structure,
Yeah.
because that's where then they balance you. So family is everything, because then that's where they also
They
just
pull you
pick you
up.
up and they support you. They're there throughout everything, you know. So conforming to these norms where, and I think this is like the most liberal, because I wouldn't even be sitting here, because I would be saying, no, but you are a publicist, you're doing marketing and PR for everybody.
Why are you
Space
putting
is
yourself
so
out
losing more
there?
so, and I say,
Yes.
so don't give a who artist. It's because when
yeah.
I get artist this space
Akira one.
or ungela client this space
Yes,
by
yeah.
being here.
Yeah.
So that's the norm. That's
Yeah.
the. But I was like, because I actually wanted to cancel.
Girl, you won't cancel on me.
I was like, girl, I can't do that
Yeah.
because I was scared. And
Neko sola mara o itse gore ke cancel.
yeah,
neko
no
sola.
feel mo
Ne ke
no
feel.
ne ke feel right na ke tlo cancel. But the reason why was because one, I feel like that it was said to me a lot of times that you can't because ungela to space. But over and above, there's that. Yo, chomi. Kore wena o nahana nkare o tlo ba nice mo dilong tse so. What if we are mole wa pota? What if we are?
At home.
I'm telling you.
Ke voice eo.
Ke voice.
Voice mara.
Voice
This
high sharp.
internal voice that's negative must fall.
Yeah, this voice
Yeah.
can get quite deep if you don't take care of, or if you don't fight it, and if you
Yeah.
don't take care of yourself, and
Yeah.
you know. So, but yeah, balancing
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
That's why now this time around I said I'm taking off the superwoman
superwoman
hat,
hat.
and I want to say Akesha,
Yeah.
and
I'm glad you took it off.
allow myself to feel.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we don't do that. It's always about everybody else. It's never about Hloni. That's why I'm saying this time around it's about Ntwengena. So I'm here because I want to share my story, and
Welcome
I hope
back,
that
Hloni.
my story. Thank you. I'm here because I want to share my story, and I'm hoping that it will inspire
Yeah.
people to say,
It
you know,
definitely will.
hey,
Yeah.
so you know, and yeah.
My name is Thokozani Nkosi. I have an entity called the Talks Media Group. And over 10 years ago, we got a cold call from a young lady who said that she was a PR agent and wanted to come and present a portfolio to us and also present a proposal to us about the work that she could do for us. Her proposal was so impressive that we decided to give her a shot, and we haven't regretted it since. Hloni Modise is her name, and she's done very well for us over the time. We've grown from strength to strength. She's given us tons and tons of PR value, and has done even more than that by really helping us drive strategy for the company and moving us to the next level. All the best to you, Hloni. You deserve all the success that's coming your way. Bless you.
Tell me about what you're doing now, right? So
Okay.
you went up, you fell. You went up, you fell.
I went up.
Hey,
It's a lot. Mara,
So talk to me about now. What is HM busy with now? Where are you now?
Okay, so what HM is doing now, we're still busy with the summers.
Yeah.
We are still managing Tate Kaifa Slim Meleta, love them.
When it comes to when did she manage me and Mama Leta, that's a few years back, several years back. And that happened because our manager, Joe Takera, was leaving us to go work with his wife in the company that they had put together, a beauty parlor, you know. And but Joe had warned us that he would be leaving. So we were forced to look for a new manager. And then Mama Leta says to me, why don't we get Hloni? And I said, Hloni? He said, yeah, I remember Hloni, we used to work with her. Going to go Sony. And I said, yeah, but that was PR. That was Sony Records. I mean, this is different. She has to deal with the guys that we work with and the singers, and she has to negotiate contracts and all that. I think it's just too much. She may not be able to handle it. And Mama said, no, let's give her a chance, So I agreed. I said, okay. We called her, and she came to the house, and we spoke with her. And at first she was kind of intimidated. But then she said, okay, I'll give it a try. And really, to tell you the truth, the rest is history. I mean, she surprised me, she surprised Mama. Well, Mama had great faith in her, because even after we had left Sony, Mama used to call her, and she would do Mama's, PR for her. And she would arrange all kinds of PR things for Mama. So Mama, that's why she called her, because she was close to her, and Mama understood her more than I did. But then I got to understand her myself, that she was good. She was good. She handled everything. She negotiated like a pro. And sometimes when she was having a hard time, she would call me and say, so what do I do? And I would give her a couple of advice what to do, and she would go back and she would clinch the deal.
And then we just did events right now for the Hyundai Creta.
Yeah.
And so it's a bit of this and that, but our constant is the parents.
Yeah.
They are there. I mean, I need to tell you a story.
Yeah.
How it was so funny how we were, because I met them go Sony.
Yeah.
And I used to do PR for them at Sony.
So you did PR for them at Sony? Okay.
Yes, I did PR for them at Sony. And then
they are an awesome couple,
yeah,
by the way.
In 2017, towards my birthday, I then get a call. Hloni, where are you? And I'm like, I came around home. She's like, no, come see us. We need to talk to you. And I get into the living room. They're sitting there, value two, and I'm thinking I did something wrong. Yeah, and I can feel like it's very notebook. So we need you to be our manager. So I'm like, you need a manager, okay? So I'm writing down, you need to be a manager. Papa, no.
Now will you manage?
So you were book and I'm like, for real?
The legendary couple.
For real?
Yeah.
It was one of like a very special moment that I will cherish forever. The lessons I've learned from working with them, very professional people, and they continue to teach me quite a lot, teach us actually quite a lot. So it's really just a blessing to have them around. So it's an incredible honor. And the lessons, like you think the perfection is too cold, but I've learned so much from that. My these norms studying would say you realize the biggest thing that they taught me was that humility is everything. And I think by saying longevity. Yes, for how humility then causes that. And I can see how it translated in their lives. So we're busy with that, the summers, and because we just now come back from this whole COVID situation. It has been tough.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
I mean, the entertainment industry was hit quite a bit.
Yeah, we were hit quite
hard. With this COVID. I mean, no interaction, no events.
Yeah, we lost quite, like, we were blessed because with PR at least, even though some other people battle PR, we don't have to see each other. I can still do the work, but
there's digital platforms and stuff.
So there was a bit of that, but with the artists and stuff, we had to let go of a lot of artists because I couldn't help them anymore because finances were, so
correct,
I felt like, guys, go fly, do your own thing. And then
when
God brings us back together, we'll work together.
Yeah.
But right now, everybody fly, do your own thing. And so we just now getting back and picking our socks up and, recovering from this pandemic. And
so you're continuing with this hustle, huh?
Girl, it's my life. It's the only thing I know. And someone was saying, would you take a 9-to-5 job? I would staff. I wouldn't do that. I'd quit after 3 days. Because I'm not a desk person. So.
Sure. What a story. Thank you so much, Hloni, for sharing a part of you with us. I really, really appreciate you coming.
Thank you so much
and
for having me.
And I do think that, opening up and just being genuine about the journey is quite inspiring because you're probably not the only one that has gone through this.
Yeah.
But you're here speaking your story, and I think for me, That's really, really brave. Thank you so much.
What can you say about Hloni? Except to think about love, that's what comes to mind. She's a very loving person, very family-oriented person, and she loves her business. She's very passionate about what she does, and that's what I love about her. We got to know each other about 4 years or so ago, and that was as a result of her involvement in my children's business, which is Anati and Manala, who are in the entertainment space. And from the onset and the get-go, Hloni showed us so much respect, so much dedication, so much love. She opened her house and her home to us, leading us to have a relationship with the entire family. And when I say family, Hloni, her friends and colleagues are family. And I think that is a very strong point that anybody could have. You know, if everything that you do is centered and built from love, I doubt very much if you would not necessarily, you know, have a winning solution. So because of her dedication and her devotion in the space, I know that she is in for the good one, and she'll make it in this industry, because it doesn't want people that are not focused. It doesn't want people that, you know, get excited. And she's not the kind of person that I see gets excited. I see somebody that is actually very, you know, focused in what she does.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow, thank you so much for chilling with us through that conversation, guys. It was such an inspiring conversation for me. I think hustling is hard, guys. It's not fancy, it's real, it's got its ups and downs. And I think there's lessons in both highs and low. Like Hloni has said, her story is amazing and it's inspiring. And I'm so, so proud of her for continuing with the hustle. Please don't forget to subscribe and like, comment. If you do have a question for Hloni, please drop a comment. I will definitely get her to answer your question. It's been real. I mean, I thank you for tuning in.